Hi, my name's Manda. I am a coach and a trance channel, and I've got something really special for you today. This spiritual space is still fairly new to me, if I'm being completely honest with you, and I'm not super familiar with a lot of the ascended masters, gods and goddesses, and especially those inside of other traditions and cultures that I didn't grow up with. And I was in meditation last night, and Goddess Saraswati, the Hindu goddess Saraswati, came to me and she's like, I would love to be the next light being that you channel. And so that's who I'm going to be channeling today. And she's got the most beautiful energy. By the way, I was really taken with what that felt like to be in her presence. And she's going to be talking about something that really hits home for me. And that is the topic of the need to really sit inside of your personal power alongside your healing journey. Sometimes when we are healing old wounds and patterns, it can feel like a very disempowering process because of the amount of pain that can come up inside of it. But it's really important to learn how to sit inside of your power, inside of that journey, as well as making choices from a place of tapping into your worthiness rather than accessing your worthiness through the choices that you make. She brings forward a lot of wisdom for you today. And if this is your first time being introduced to her, I hope you enjoy her energy as much as I do. If this is the type of content that you like, please stick around and click subscribe because I'm going to be channeling so many more gods and goddesses, ascended masters, my higher self, and other light beings for you in the future.
Hello, my children. I am so happy to be here with all of you. And I have some really important things that I would like to say to all of you today. And so I ask that you put your pens and papers away. You get rid of all your distractions for the next few minutes, because I believe that the information I am about to bring forward for you can and will be life-changing if you allow it to be. And I know that this can sound hyperbolic, but maybe there's an element of truth inside of it that only those who pay close attention will grasp and utilize to the best of their ability. The state of this planet at this time is one of unrest for many reasons. But the main one being that many of you have grown tired of the way things have been operating until now. And this is good. This is very good because this means that you are ready for something different. You are ready for change. And change cannot be elicited inside of a reality that does not facilitate it. And what I mean by this is that change does not take place outside of you in the external environment that surrounds you before it takes place inside of you first. And the reason for this is that this version of you operates in a certain way and has always and will always show up in this way unless it chooses to do so differently. And the reason why you would choose to make different choices inside of your life is because you have a different intention behind them, a different desire driving your choices towards a different destination. And what is this drive if we were to take a closer look at it? What I'm speaking of is a difference in desire. And a difference in desire comes from a realization that what you want is possible for you and also deeply desired where it wasn't before. And the ability to overcome the doubt and the fear has risen inside of you to a degree that it couldn't be reached before. And without the same degree of doubt and fear holding you back, you move forward with a different sense of self. And this version of you makes different choices inside of your life. And these different choices that you make lead to a different reality reflected back to you. And when every single person on this planet chooses something different for themselves, the world changes as a byproduct. However, you can see where I am leading you inside of this line of questioning, which is, where does the change really initiate? It initiates inside of each individual thinking about themselves differently. Because it is only once the individual says to themselves, I no longer wish to feel this way about myself, that they choose something different. And this choice leads to a change in behavior, which leads to a change in outcome. And so, what initiates change on the global level is the way each individual inside of this system thinks and feels about themselves as a whole. And we are headed towards a massive shift in consciousness where each person on this planet will desire to think and feel differently about themselves. And this is what I would like to speak on today. When you embark upon a desire to change something about you, this is typically coming from a belief system that creating this change will lead to greater amounts of peace and love and prosperity for you. And this is not wrong, and it is probably correct. However, it is not the change itself that creates this new reality for you. It is the realization of who you have become inside of the different choice. Because the desire to feel at peace is not accessed inside of a different choice. It is accessed inside of the version of you that you are becoming through making the different choice. Peace is a state of being, my loves. And a state of being is elicited inside of you through choice alone. You can either choose to feel this way or hold it at bay because you do not feel deserving of it. And so it is the belief system that you are not deserving to feel how you want to feel that is keeping how you desire to feel at bay. When you embark upon a desire to begin to feel differently inside of yourself, sometimes what happens is that you feel a greater amount of shame than you did before. And this is because the shame has always been there inside of you. However, you are making decisions inside of your life that were keeping the shame suppressed and further away from your conscious awareness at all times because it felt too heavy to hold. And when you finally decide to make different choices that do not hold the shame as far down as it was being held previously, all of a sudden it makes its presence known in a way that cannot always be avoided. And so sometimes when you are embarking upon a healing journey, you feel worse before you feel better. And this is not an indication that you are doing anything wrong. This is an indication that you are no longer running from you. And the shame that you feel is self-inflicted. Another person cannot shame you and elicit the shame inside of you unless you allow them to. Take that for what it is for you. But know this, an emotion is felt and can be questioned. Is it wrong to feel this way about me? Can I be compassionate with myself while I feel this way? Does this person shaming me have a point? Am I wrong for being this way? Have I done something worthy of this reaction out of them? Or are they simply taking out their emotional experience on me because they do not know how to hold it inside of themselves? There is no right or wrong answer to these questions. They are simply inquiries designed to help you begin to see that the inner experiences you are having are a byproduct of your belief systems about you. And when you desire to change your belief systems about you, you will be required to question the very notion that how you have been feeling about you is still warranted. The way to feel worthy inside of you is to choose to believe that you simply are. There is no proof that you can amass to point to evidence that this is true, other than the mere existence of you in this world. If you are listening to this message now, you are worthy of it. If you have no idea of my existence, you are worthy of it. If you are alive, you are worthy of it. You are simply worthy because you are. And the belief system that this does not feel comfortable for you because it has not been earned is no longer needed. And if you desire to make different choices inside of your life, you will need to grapple with this logic and this truth that I'm relaying to you, because you will always be limited by the degree to which you feel worthy of what you want. And if you can anchor into the reality that you already are deserving, then there will be nothing holding you back from moving towards a new reality that you desire for you, for the sheer fact that you want it. what I would like to leave you with today is to question the notion that what you want is not already available to you, and that is the desire to feel worthy of it. And if you can anchor into the reality of the fact, which is that coming to this conclusion in your full body may take time to work through the shame associated with freely offering worthiness to you without having earned it. Let it be. The healing journey requires that you shed layers that you have been carrying throughout your lifetime. And with each layer that you shed, another one will be revealed underneath it until you can get to the core truth of who you are, which is simply love embodied. And when you can get to the core and truth of who you are, you will realize that the layers that you had shed were also part of your truth. You simply chose to embody them, whereas now you do not. And it is through shedding of those layers and getting to the core of the being that you are that you realize that everything has been right all along. And the only change really required of you was the realization that you never needed to in the first place. It has been a pleasure to speak with you all today. Please call upon me anytime you desire to feel the love and connection that you're desperately desiring to feel. And I will send you ways of accessing that internally, because that, at the end of the day, is the only place it is truly accessed and felt. Much love to all of you. Goodbye.